What is up, my ballers? In today's video, we are going over the roadmap for NBA 2K26. There is a lot of new features coming to the game that you may be excited for or you may not be. But the big question for today is, if you've already pre-ordered the game without even seeing any of these new features, I want you to comment down below why. Why did you pre-order the game without even seeing any gameplay or anything like that? I know that's a little bit of a controversial subject because a lot of people I've seen pre-order the game and they don't even there's no information really out yet. And then there's other people who are kind of waiting. So I just want to know, why did you jump the gun and go ahead and pre-order? So the roadmap, we got a bunch of different things going on over here. They're pretty much looks like they're updating all of the main game modes. So every week we're going to have some new reveals. So we can see that July 28th is going to be the first gameplay reveal. So I know that's one thing that a lot of people are going to be looking forward to, the actual gameplay, right? Because a lot of the times NBA 2K 25, 26, every year it seems like it's very minimal changes to the gameplay. And a lot of the big things they always push is the graphics, right? They're like enhanced graphics, right, from last year. And it's like, what did they do? They added more sweat, right? So the players look more glossy or more sweatier than last year. But there's never really any major changes, which is really unfortunate. I think they need to give us a big change, some major changes to the gameplay to really mix it up and not feel like you're just spending another $70, $100, whatever, just to have an updated roster, right? And nothing really else. So July 28th, I think, is going to be one of the bigger weeks for gameplay. And then we got August 4th. They're going to show off My Player. My Player has a bunch of new additions as well. Then for August 11th is going to be My Team. Then we got the W for August 11th. I don't know too many people who play the W. That's kind of just feels like a lost cause, unfortunately. And then August 18th is going to be My Career. Then we have My NBA August 18th. And finally, I think one of the big ones that a lot of people are going to be looking forward to is the city reveal August 28th. So that is literally just right before early access. They're going to reveal the city update. So honestly, my takeaway from all of these, the big two, is going to be the gameplay reveal that's coming up, very soon, and then the city. If we jump into a little bit more details, they did give us a little bit of kind of a sneak peek at what we can kind of expect. Gameplay wise, it says rewarding skill-based gameplay. So now your layups are going to have permanently enabled separate skilled finishers for your layup timing and stuff like that. So you have basically the chance to miss wide open layups and dunks or whatever it may be. So they're adding those. They're making basically what they're trying to do for the new gameplay, or at least the sneak peek they're telling us, is that they're going to be pushing more for skill based, like really putting an emphasis on shot timing and everything, and not just random, you're just randomly scoring. Like, you're actually going to have some type of skill this time to score. That's what they're kind of pushing. And they also have new tools for offense and defense as well. Supposedly new moves for deeper control in the post and customization on how you attack the rim, maybe some custom animations or something like that. And it also says there's going to be improved player-to-player contact on the floor and in the air. So you can expect a lot of body-to-body action going on. Now, for My Player, they got build with new insights. I think this is probably some really good changes, at least the sneak peeks that they gave us. We got the fresh play styles year-round. Cap breakers are returning with big improvements. I know one of the other things is that now you can kind of see all of the builds for like the different height and weight, and pretty much you can see everything instead of having to guess and like put things in and then see what it like badges and everything it gives you, and then back out and try and change your build. Like, everything is more like implemented, which To me, it's kind of stupid because I feel like all of that should have been in the game last year, right? For 2025. I just, there's like little things that they're adding that you're just kind of like, well, why wasn't that in the original plan? You know, and that's one of the problems I feel like is a lot of these changes, they're like really obvious changes, right? Like really obvious things that should have been put in the game, you know, when they introduced these other features, right? So that's just kind of a little bit of a bummer right there. And then for my team, the Triple Threat Park returns with new locations, basically new atmospheric graphical impact. It's going to look differently. King of the Court, we got King of the Court presented by AT&T, is going to be more accessible for a weekly cash prize, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS and VC. So I guess for the Steam version, you're not going to have access to that. You're not going to get weekly cash prizes. That's why I don't understand. It just says PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, and then it says end VC. It doesn't mention Steam, the Steam PC version at all. So does that mean the PC players are not going to be able to compete in the King of the Court for a weekly cash prize? That's kind of a bummer. You know, PC definitely gets the short end of the stick on all of these like NBA games, man. And then each King of the Court event will take place during a full weekend window. So it's pretty much only going to be on the weekends when most people are playing the game. And you can also see that this is really good. They're extending beyond the previous limit, which was 4 hours on Saturdays. So they're going to give you more time, which I really like. Because, you know, for 4 hours, I don't like that. I think it should definitely be longer, if not all day or however long it could be. But 4 hours was pretty short. They're doing some really cool updates to My Career where now they have an actual beginning story. They're going back to that. And what you're going to be able to do is you're actually going to see your player get drafted. So I really like that idea. You know, you're going to actually get drafted instead of just choosing a team that you want to be on. You know, you're going to go through all of the beginning parts and you're going to see like, are you, how valuable you are in the draft, right? If other teams really want you, maybe you'll go first pick, second pick. If you don't do so well, you might be like towards the bottom. So that's a pretty cool feature for My Career. If it's something that you play a lot, My Career is, it's a hit or miss. Like sometimes it's okay, but I think the heart and soul of the game, honestly, is like My Player and the city and stuff like that. And then I would say the second is probably My Team, because I know a lot of people actually enjoy My Team content. Then we got My NBA, celebrate your championships with dynamic banners and 2K26 as you win titles. My NBA, I think, is another feature that not too many people dive into. There is some people, but I feel like that's one of the lower game modes in the area. And then we got more customization with unranked My GM. So you can take control of an NBA franchise, basically be a GM and control the roster and stuff. I don't think too many people are going to be really excited about that, but there's going to be some people. But again, I don't think that's like one of the big selling points. And then the city is going to be back, and it's got a lot going on with that. The thing that I like is they're going to, apparently it's going to be smaller. So the My City is going to be a little bit smaller. It's getting a makeover. They're also going to have statues now for the leaderboards and stuff like that. So they'll actually have like an actual statue of your player if you do really well in this game mode in the city. So that's awesome. You know, there's a lot of little cool things like that, but honestly, they're all just kind of little sprinkles of little upgrades. I think it's really going to come down to the actual gameplay, how the gameplay is, and then also kind of like My Player and slash, you know, the city's not going to have any major changes, but I think the gameplay and My Player are going to be the two big things that they really have to sell people on if they want people to pre-order this game. Because I think majority of people that play the NBA 2K series, they've been doing it for like the My Player to build out their own players and then compete online against other people, 3v3, 5v5 in the rec and stuff like that. I think that's where the game is pretty much shines and stuff. That's what most people do. That is it for right now. That is the only news that we got. We will definitely be taking a look at this gameplay reveal that's coming up on the week of July 28th. We'll have an in-depth review on that. Make sure you guys and girls are subscribed. It is greatly appreciated. Brand new channel. Stay happy, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.